There are so many fleeting things. Living one day of our life is just the same. Who truly understands? Illusory dreams drift by. One awakens laughing, still empty-handed, a house of 100 rooms, yet one bed to sleep in. Chests filled with silver and gold, yet a single wicked wind can send one into eternity, the spirit imprisoned in clinging and attachment. Though we may know countless people in this world, how many will care enough to light a single stick of incense for us? Love's threads so many, yet all drift far away. Alone, led by karma, we walk the path, impermanence turning one morning into a broom, sweeping autumn, leaves sweeping human lives. If we truly knew that all things are but clouds, why cling? Why not let go? 100 years, such a human life. No matter who arrives, all must one day depart. Live so that life is full of meaning, so that when your hands finally rest, your lips still carry a gentle smile. Living among people for decades, speaking is easy, remaining silent is hard. Life drifts on. We suffer because we cling to joy, to sorrow, to gain, to loss lodged in the heart. Pause for a moment to think of what you've done and what you haven't. Pause for a moment to talk to old friends. Their simple, brief words may warm your own heart again. Pause for a moment to watch children play. Aren't they truly innocent? Pause for a moment to see how life around you is changing each day. Pause for a moment to remember those you love, to recognize how deeply they matter. Many of us only realize someone's importance when they have gone forever. Pause and reflect that time never returns. And do not forget to pause for a moment to come back to yourself. Sometimes, waking in a dreamlike life, the mind awakens to the shore of what is real and unreal. Sometimes, by opening the heart, one learns to live fully in the present. Happiness lies right here. There's a story. Once a wealthy man possessed endless riches, yet each day his worries equaled the size of his fortune. Next door lived a tofu maker couple. There was an old saying that 3 of the hardest lives were blacksmiths, boatmen, and tofu makers. Yet this couple lived cheerfully, their laughter and singing ringing from morning to night, reaching the ears of the rich man. One day, the rich man's wife asked, "We have so much money, yet why aren't we as happy as the tofu maker couple next door?" The rich man said, "I'll make sure that by tomorrow, even if they want to laugh, they won't be able to." Late that night, he threw a bar of pure gold into their yard. The next morning, their house was silent. They were busy plotting what to do with the gold that had fallen from the sky. They felt they had struck fortune. The hard, exhausting tofu-making work was no longer necessary. But if they used the gold for business and suffered losses, what then? If they did nothing, the gold would quickly disappear. The husband wondered if, when business prospered, he should marry a young, beautiful concubine or simply leave his old, coarse wife. The wife thought that had she known she would be rich one day, she would never have married this annoying tofu maker. Just yesterday, they were joyful and content. Now they had no mood to laugh together. Worries had taken over their hearts. Worse still, they wondered why heaven hadn't given them more gold bars so they could immediately fulfill all the fantasies racing through their minds. This story teaches us, life originally has no troubles. Only when desire is ignited do worries begin knocking at the door of our hearts. Life originally has no suffering. Only when we start calculating gain and loss does greed awaken, and suffering entangles us more and more in the end. The only one who can save us from our own suffering is ourselves. Life carries countless burdens, but we can choose which to carry in, which to put down. The only way out of the nightmare of afflictions is awakening. The only way to forget life's misfortunes is letting go. Time waits for no one. Oh, good when you can. Let go of greed. Pray for peace and happiness for all beings. There are people who stand between two shores, asking themselves again and again where they truly belong. Turning back, hair already gray, pausing in silent sorrow. Drifting deep in life, along two opposite currents of people going against and going with the tide. Two shores of hardship, wandering back and forth in sorrow. One hand reaches for the gate of Zen, The other still draws the dreams of the worldly realm, climbing the mountains with thoughts of bustling cities, sitting in the streets, dreaming beneath ivory moonlight. Many times the pillow wears thin, the feet grow tired, yet the soul has not tired of waiting, still wandering in illusion. Just as the eyes look toward a clouded path, it is suddenly veiled by the hand of human affection, washing us again and again in the cycle of birth and death. In moments like these, I ask myself, beneath this cradle lies a handful of fate. Knowing it already, why do I still drift between returning paths? Between the love tree and the root of the Bodhi, two shadows lean heavily. The realm of night sinks, and impermanence suddenly calls my name, leaving only tears upon the land of repentance. Had I not hesitated in the past, perhaps I could have escaped the weary cycle of samsara, this endless suffering born from fragile worldly debts that a small soul encountering rapids on the river of illusion. Yet busyness itself is a kind of happiness, helping us avoid meaningless overthinking. Wandering can also carry its own joy, giving us a chance to experience life as it really is. Weariness is another kind of blessing, urging us to use every moment well. Struggling is also a lesson that helps us understand life more deeply. Life is not truly terrible. Right and wrong are experiences. Good and bad are simply landscapes. If the mind is peaceful, happiness will always be present. After all, life keeps flowing on. Worrying endlessly about matters as distant as heaven and earth is needless. Better to protect the peace of our hearts in this very moment. Knowing how to dry our own tears, we understand that in life we cannot avoid being judged or mocked by others for our imperfections. Instead of taking it to heart, we can learn to laugh at our own flaws, showing that we are perfectly confident in our imperfect selves. Only by admitting our shortcomings can we improve easily. The fact that you and others hold different opinions is normal. You do not need to change just to match anyone's views. Live in a way that harms neither yourself nor others, and your conscience remains clear in this world. No matter how kind you are, you cannot earn everyone's affection. No matter how well you live, some will praise, some will criticize. No matter how successful you become, some will admire you and others will despise you. Where there is admiration, there will be envy. Where there is envy, there will be those who dismiss you. That is life. You cannot please everyone, so do not lose your true self just to satisfy others. Everyone needs personal principles and dignity. Through the mouths of others, we are not a single person, but many different versions. You only need to be the best version of yourself. People may share the same eyes, but look from different angles. They share the same mouth, but speak differently. Hearts are similar in structure, but thoughts differ greatly. Wealth looks the same, but the way each person spends it reflects their unique tastes. Right or wrong, good or bad, it all comes from different standpoints. Change the circumstances, and the perspective changes that we are all human, yet each person lives in their own way. Walk confidently on your own feet. An eagle needs no applause to spread its wings. Grass does not need a caretaker to push through the earth. Wildflowers bloom in deep mountains, even without admirers. Work does not require everyone's understanding. Just do your best. Being a good person does not mean everyone will love you. Just remain honest and generous. Flowers have hundreds of shapes and thousands of forms, yet still bloom and give fragrance without hesitation. In life, each person has their own style. So why not lift each other up instead of tearing one another down? If something feels worthy, cherish it. If it brings happiness, hold on to it. Stay close to those who bring you joy. Love those who move your heart. Being human, if said to be easy, it is not truly easy. Moving thousands of hearts or controlling the tongues of the world is never simple. But if said to be hard, it is not entirely hard either. Just keep a kind heart, live gently, and walk your own path. A human life is not that long. Since we are already here, we should at least strive to live beautifully in life. There are many things that do not have to go our way to be good. The sun will not rise early just because you are unhappy, and the moon will not remain bright at the end of the night just because you resent it. covering your eyes does not mean the world will turn into darkness. And even if the world becomes blurry, the light does not belong to you alone to in this world. There are only axes that are not sharp enough, but no trees that cannot be cut down in work. It is not that things cannot be done, only that people have not yet found a method. There is nothing truly impossible. If one wants something, they will find a way, and if not, they will find an excuse. Life is like a glass of water, whether hot or cold, as long as the temperature is right, it can be enjoyed. Its taste, sweet, bitter, or spicy, is delicious only when it suits your preference. Speed, fast or slow, is pleasing only when it matches your ears. The four seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, are beautiful only when they align with your mood. All that truly matters is what fits you. That is happiness. Every person has two paths, one traveled by the heart, called dreams, and one traveled by the feet, called reality. If the heart cannot feel in time, reality fades. If the feet move too slowly, dreams drift away in this world. Nothing is more painful than loving someone deeply while watching their heart turn toward another, yet still foolishly remaining devoted. Every meeting and parting follows a certain destiny. Accepting it calmly is the best way to live in peace. If someone beside you feels at ease, because of you, that alone is a great success. Yes, children, happiness was simple. Growing up, to live simply becomes true happiness. Not waste this lifetime. Do what you wish to, don't love what you wish to love. Life brings disappointment because expectations are too high. Dreams collapse because they're too far away, that a heart weighed down with too much cannot easily speak. Some people cannot be forgotten because we cannot let go. Others must be forgotten because they're not worth remembering. Not trust your eyes too much. Sometimes what you see is merely what you want to see, and the things you dislike are what you ignore. Those who are misunderstood lose nothing. Those who judge wrongly are the ones who lose the chance that we often believe we control life, forgetting that living requires cooperation with many others. Do not sacrifice the future for a short-term gain. Remember, what is gained through someone else's sacrifice never lasts. Life is short. There is no time for regret. Not be troubled, even for a minute, by people or things that drain your peace. If the final outcome has not yet arrived, smile and keep moving forward. When meeting people in this world, offer them a little warmth, and amidst the storms of life, offer yourself a little optimism. If you know how to love life and balance everything well, joy and happiness will naturally spread. Life is not a race. It is a journey. That a race focuses on the finish line, but a journey cares for the scenery along the way. With a good mindset, every scene becomes beautiful, and no matter how many difficulties appear today, believe that only yesterday cannot return, and tomorrow will surely arrive. Some people are favored by life more than others. This is no one's fault. We must accept the difficult truth that life is not fair. But still, keep striving every day toward your goal. That if you cannot reach the destination you dreamed of, at least you will have gone farther than where you once stood. You should also know, you will never have everything you want in. Each phase of life, you will long for one or several things, and even after obtaining them, you will desire something else. What matters is learning to be satisfied with what you already have, so that each day feels less burdensome. Every day, we must choose what is worth doing and what is not. Think carefully before making a choice so you don't waste time on things that aren't worth it. Everything has two sides, so don't rush to believe stories told from only one perspective or be fooled by the glamorous images on social media. Take time to thoroughly understand everything before placing your trust in it. Some people who choose a deceitful way of living may achieve success faster, but only those who choose to be good can go the long way. Be a good person, even if life treats you unfairly, simply because being good allows us to sleep peacefully without worrying that our wrongdoings might suddenly be exposed. If you depend on others to bring you happiness, rest assured that disappointment will follow you endlessly. Love life and love people without expecting anything in return. Only then will you remain light and free. Live without shame, even if others abandon you halfway. even if the flowers do not bloom for you, even if streams never flow backward for your sake. Live fully the life you are given. Joy, sorrow, success, or failure, all will eventually pass. Spring waits for no one. Autumn shifts without warning. Live to love, and live to let others live. Life will inevitably bring things you do not like, including people who rub you the wrong way. If you cannot take things lightly and let go, you will drown in frustration and exhaustion. People differ in knowledge, perspectives, and levels of self-cultivation, so their ways of seeing and handling things will never be the same. Therefore, conflicts and clashes are normal. In such moments, forgiveness becomes a kind of grace, a form of inner training, like an umbrella that helps you walk forward through storms. Forgiving others sometimes requires sacrifice, a generous heart, or a small acceptance of loss. But that is not weakness. It simply makes your path wider and easier to walk. Life is like the sky. It cannot always be clear to make you happy. Sometimes it must be gloomy to make you anxious. Life cannot give you endless luck and happiness. At times it must let you taste bitterness and sweetness alike. So open your heart, learn to forgive, and move past the people and events that trouble your mind. You will find yourself standing higher, seeing farther, touching the edge of the horizon. People often suffer because they value their desires too much and care excessively about how others react to them. When their expectations are not met, they sink into sadness. The greater one's greed, the more fragile they become. The more one clings to personal gain, the more calculations they create, the more they want, the more they feel the loss. Most wounds originate from desire. If our greed grows smaller, others will not be able to grasp or exploit it for their own purposes. If we can remove greed entirely, worries will have nowhere to cling to, and freedom will naturally arise that a little determined step can shorten a journey of 1,000 miles. A small stone laid down today may become a mountain tomorrow. A small act of kindness shared with another brings double the joy to your own heart. A small step back brings calm and peace as vast as the sky and sea. A little forgiveness today ensures tomorrow's tea tastes warmer. A little gesture of sincerity leaves suffering behind and gives birth to gratitude. A small comforting touch softens long-held tears and resentment. A simple question of care becomes the bridge between hearts once divided. Just a little sunlight can warm the coldness of winter. A small candle in a quiet room brightens even the darkest night. A few lines of evening sutra can break layers of confusion in a mind. A tiny seed of compassion planted today will bloom tomorrow into the flowers of awakening. A single good thought, like a drop of water, may one day become a perfect shining pearl, become a gentle rain, not indifferent, so life may feel peace in every passing hour. Hold a little faith, never forgetting the path of happiness you are walking upon. Live like the Buddha, who owned nothing yet could make use of everything. Learn to enjoy things without trying to possess them, and understand a simple truth. When we come into this world and when we leave it, our hands are empty. So why struggle to claim what was never truly ours? This body is the closest companion we carry everywhere. Yet the Buddha said, even it is not yours, much less the things outside of it. Why then do we exhaust ourselves, creating endless karmic burdens? The lotus never leaves the mud, yet within the mud it still radiates a pure fragrance. Living in the fog of worldly matters, though life branches in countless directions, we should walk one path with wisdom and compassion. Compassion must be guided by insight, gently steering our lives like a boat crossing tides. When we understand, we live in clarity. Returning the debts of this samsaric life, each soul goes back to its ancient place to sit in quiet understanding. Again and again we repay all burdens that have been our backs, carrying karmic ties from lifetime to lifetime. Waves of consciousness drift across the ocean of existence, dissolving into the great sea. We repay loves once tangled across many lives, hesitating in the mist of samsara. Time sways lightly over bamboo shadows by the river steps. What remains in me drifts with the white clouds, fading into the sky. For whom do we return these worldly dreams? 1,000 years pass in a single awakening. Feet step upon the old path in an autumn haze. Waiting through the ages, heaven and earth in ancient dimness, we repay the rhythms of a mother's lullaby. This body, wrapped in birth and death, carries its burdens across lifetimes. Autumn forests shed yellow leaves. Poems return to pens, melodies to strings. I come back here again, where countless karmic bonds converge. Each day, we face many things that displease us, irritations and situations beyond our control. We cannot always stop what goes against our wishes, so it is better to learn to accept and gradually embrace them with ease. Cultivate patience, tolerance, and generosity. Try to view yourself and others with gentler, kinder eyes. Do not worry too much about failures. Let the past stay behind you so you can fully live in the present. No need to stir old sorrows and bury yourself in them. Practice meditation every day. Even a few minutes can transform your life. Inner peace brings outer harmony, and happiness is always nearby. Life is like a journey on a bus heading toward destiny. No one can accompany us through the entire route, not even family or close friends. If we are fortunate to share a part of the journey with someone, when they must get off, we should feel grateful and wave goodbye, for another companion will appear at a later stop. Bitterness or sweetness in coffee depends on whether we add sugar or salt. Pain is not about forgetting. It depends on whether we have the courage to step forward into something new. Life is like a cup of tea. The first sip may be bitter, but that is not the whole story. After bitterness comes fragrance. We grow tired because we hesitate between holding on and letting go. Sometimes we understand everything yet refuse to accept the truth. People enter our lives through karmic affinity, but whether they stay long or leave suddenly is up to us. Not explaining brings peace. Not clinging brings clarity. And imperfection is simply life. Do not blame others. Do not mock anyone. Nor need you admire them. When the sun shines, enjoy its warmth. When storms come, find shelter. Follow your dreams and walk the path you choose. Your world will become peaceful. Forgive those who intentionally hurt you, but never trust them blindly again. Forgiveness is for your own freedom, but trusting again without clarity only gives others another chance to wound you. We should believe that everyone has the potential to change for the better, but let life itself verify everything. Even if life gives you 1,000 reasons to worry, still try to find one small story that brings you joy. No matter how much the world weeps, what you need to do is simply keep a light and gentle heart. Let go of the people and things that do not go your way, and live in the present moment of your own life. If you can take care of yourself, not rely on others, and keep moving forward with perseverance, you will surely see the light and warmth on the path ahead. Life is not a battlefield, so there is no need to determine winners and losers. When compassion increases, misunderstandings decrease. Between one matter and another, when tolerance increases, conflict decreases. There are things we must endure, and there are people we must yield to. Lowering oneself is sometimes necessary. There is no need to beg for anyone's approval or understanding, for everyone has their own views and personality. We often take ourselves too seriously, which leads to anxiety over gains and losses, and we believe others do not understand us. In truth, being human requires learning to take ourselves less seriously, reducing our ego, and placing ourselves in others' positions. Then we will see that life is much more endearing. That is why it is said, the more open your heart, the greater your joy, the broader your tolerance, the more you will receive. Do not gossip behind others' backs, and do not concern yourself too much with rumors about you. A useless person has nothing for others to talk about. The more exceptional you are, the more you will be noticed and judged. In life, admitting fault is a form of honesty, and letting go is a form of grace. If you offer honesty but receive no grace in return, it only shows the other person is petty and vulgar. We cannot control others' tongues. The easiest thing we can do is keep our own heart light, then step past the tangles of life and live happily. Half of life requires sobriety. The other half sometimes needs a bit of foolishness. Many times, there is no need to distinguish things too clearly for some matters, once fully understood, you would rather not pursue. Some people, once fully seen through, you no longer wish to associate with. Deep within every human soul lies a hidden bitterness that others cannot share even throughout a lifetime. Hardships and obstacles must be faced alone and silently resolved. But whatever happens, do not spend your days in irritation, for we do not know how many joys tomorrow still holds for us, how many roads await our steps, and how many doors require our efforts. There must be both joy and sorrow for life to be complete, both bitterness and sweetness for it to be real. Once night falls and morning comes, let everything be placed in the past. Dwelling on yesterday only makes us more weary. We cannot know what others think, and we cannot control what others do. The only thing we can do is wholeheartedly fulfill our own responsibilities, walk the path we have chosen, and live our own life while in life. When benefits come, do not try to take everything for yourself. Even if you fight for gains your whole life, you still will not know enough. So, it is better to stop. Even if you are right, do not push others to the edge. Worldly arguments never have an end. Winning a debate may cost you your kindness. No matter how great your talent, restrain yourself from belittling others. Comparing people only brings harm, and comparing things often means discarding something. If a person acts too clever, others become suspicious. If too perfectionistic, conflicts arise easily. If too arrogant, others will distance themselves. Overthinking creates trouble. Being too meticulous traps the mind, and chasing too much makes you exhausted. Only when the heart feels content can the days feel spacious, and only when the body and mind are at ease can life feel worth living. There are 3 essential keys in life: acceptance, change, and letting go. If you cannot accept something, then change it. If you cannot change it, then let it go. An optimistic person often uses a smile to cover unpleasant things, while a pessimistic person only complains and forgets the joys of being alive. Do not always ask others why. Instead, ask yourself whether you deserve what you expect. Others treat you well because you treat them well, or because you hold a certain value to them. Do not hope everyone will understand you, for each person has their own interests and concerns. As long as you understand what you are doing and what you are striving for, that is enough. Improve yourself and create value for your own life. The world will naturally value you when you learn to let go. Even simple matters can become overwhelming when you think too deeply or feel too intensely. They turn into burdens that tie your hands and feet. On the contrary, no matter how complicated something seems, if you learn to lighten your heart and care less, it will become simple and easy to resolve. In life, there are many people, many situations, and many emotional chapters that should not be held on to. Just smile and move forward. Be more open, and you will learn more. Be more graceful, and life will become more beautiful. Be a bit wiser, and your smile will shine brighter and happier. So when facing certain things, just smile. Don't take everything so seriously. Some people only need to be seen and understood. There's no need to worry about them. If someone loves to show off, then applaud. Exposing them means nothing. If others give you the wrong you don't deserve, simply act as if you didn't see it. This world doesn't revolve around you. This earth doesn't spin just for your sake. Therefore, don't cling to what you have. We are all merely travelers passing through this dusty world, born with nothing and leaving with nothing. Who you are isn't important. Who there doesn't matter much either. What matters is having peace in your heart. Live according to destiny. That's the wiser way to. Don't wait for others to help you financially, for money is never enough for anyone. Learn how to give instead. Friends helping each other is good and righteous, but if they don't help, that is normal. No one owes you anything. Train yourself to have an independent spirit, strong, optimistic, and content, because in the end, only you are directly tied to your own life and death. Learn resilience. A spoonful of salt in a cup of water makes it undrinkable, but the same spoonful in a lake changes nothing. Our worries are like salt. Whether life tastes bitter or pleasant depends on the size of our heart. Happiness comes from joy, from a light mind, from our choices. Never choose friends based on wealth. Even if someone is rich beyond measure, it has nothing to do with you. Don't turn yourself into another person's servant. In this world, there are people who, even with only one piece of bread, would break it in half for you. Learn how to see people clearly. Yes, there exists a love that is faithful and pure, but it belongs to cowherd and weaver girl, to Liang Shanbua and Zhu Yingtai, to Romeo and Juliet, because they died young. We, however, live much longer and must learn how to let go. Don't stubbornly cling to anything. When others praise you, enjoy it, but don't take it as truth. Most compliments are meant to please, so don't let sweet words feed your arrogance. We are all made of flesh and bone, and we cannot avoid exhaustion. A small, fragile heart will sometimes feel hurt, but we don't need to display every grievance on our face, nor run to others every time we face difficulties. If every pain could be forgotten, no one would choose to suffer. If every wound healed instantly, there would be no need for caution in life. Remember, you're a normal human being. When your body is tired, rest. When your heart is hurt, let it heal. As long as you have tried your best, you don't need to regret the result. Many things in life cannot be obtained simply because we want them. Don't make life harder than it already is. Life has only one path that cannot be chosen, giving up, and one path that cannot be avoided, growing up. Overcoming one hardship gives you one more lesson. Conquering difficulties makes you stronger, that if we can compare less, calculate less, resent less, and instead forgive more, understand more, and give more, then every day will be peaceful, and the world will naturally become gentle with us. We came into this world, after all, with nothing more than that. There are only two great matters in life, birth and death. One has already been completed, leaving only the other, so there is no need to rush. Everything that comes with enough conditions will naturally arise and naturally fade. Waiting or craving brings nothing. A person with wisdom and cultivation does not live according to the shifting tongues of the world, nor fears the gaze of others. What truly matters is understanding one's own heart, observing one's strengths and flaws, and slowly correcting them. That itself is a form of cultivation. The deepest sense of lostness in life comes from having no spiritual refuge, not knowing the direction one should turn to. Whether you are aware of it or not, whether you admit it or not, if your heart holds only goodness, then nothing can truly trouble you. If your inner being is genuinely kind, you will never harbor hatred toward anyone. If your way of living is truly simple, then no matter how chaotic the world becomes, it cannot disturb you. Doing good makes the body healthy, the mind peaceful, and sleep restful. Doing good deeds is known by heaven and earth, respected even by spirits. When there is no doubt, the world does not feel cold. When there is no discrimination, the world is not distant. When there is no resentment, the sky remains warm. When there is no conflict, the four seas stay in harmony. True tranquility does not mean sitting motionless for hours, but holding a calm heart that can observe all things and listen to the subtle breathing of nature's growth. Inner stability must arise from within. Seeking it outside will never lead to attainment. People toil a lifetime, struggling endlessly, yet when they depart, they cannot take even a blade of grass. One may spend a whole life accumulating and still leave without carrying even a trace of vanity. Once life begins, regardless of wealth or poverty, once the path ends, all must say farewell. Therefore, while you still have the chance, live wholeheartedly. Cherish those you feel are worthy. Do not chase after the hollow standards of the world. Life is truly short. So many vow to live 100 years, yet turn around and become the departed. Some have just formed an attachment, but before they can awaken, life and death have already separated them. So while you can, do not create regrets. Do not overthink. Do not pay excessive attention. Do not cling or demand too much. Try to treat the people beside you a little better, for after this life, you may never meet again. Everything that appears in your life can only be experienced, not possessed, for we are merely travelers passing through, destined to say goodbye someday. So whatever has passed, face it calmly. Whatever is coming, welcome it with an open heart. Life moves very quickly. If you can step beyond illusions of fame and gain, you will touch what is truly real. When encountering complications, resolve them gently and release what is unnecessary. Only then can the heart be light enough to move forward. By giving way to others, you avoid petty conflicts. By widening your perspective, you can see the rainbow after the storm. Pack your baggage lightly, and the long road becomes serene. The most beautiful scenery is not seen by the eyes, but felt by the heart. Deep affection needs no words. It is shown through actions. Whenever you feel dissatisfied, remember the nature of water. Always soft, gentle, quietly embracing, transforming all things without contention. If everyone could cultivate such a state, neither the world nor the human heart would be in turmoil. If you can see the strengths in people and the meaning in events, you will find that life is joyful and the world is truly beautiful. But if you face life with a troubled heart, everything becomes an obstacle, and the world appears dark and unpleasant. Many wish to be more beautiful, yet the best way to attain true beauty is to keep the heart pure and the spirit joyful. A beauty that brings ease to others and never causes aversion. In truth, everything we receive in this life is the result of what we created before, and what we are doing now will shape what we receive in the future. Life continues in this cycle. If we truly understand this, we will naturally reduce many negative thoughts and stop blaming heaven or resenting others. When facing situations that go against your wishes, remember that blessings come from diligence and a life of sacrifice. Let compassion arise within you to help those in hardship. Be grateful for deep kindness received and maintain respect toward everyone and everything. With faith in cause and effect, you will not create regrets in life. Cheerfully and patiently nurturing goodness in the present will welcome a bright and gentle tomorrow that a strong person, over time, may still grow tired. Emotions held too tightly can cause deep pain. Working too intensely can sometimes bring trouble. Words spoken excessively may turn into boastfulness. Life is a blend of bitterness and sweetness. The world inevitably carries warmth and coldness of human hearts. Who does not wish for a smooth-sailing life without sorrow? Who does not want to cherish affection without abandoning or being abandoned? Some matters, once seen clearly, become lighter. Some people, once understood fully, no longer trouble heart. In life, we should not always be too strict and clear-cut. Even giving your all may still be met with blame. But with ease and sincerity, nothing becomes a burden. Simply cherish the person before you. Do your work well, and stay honest and kind without shame before your conscience. Everything will return with due reward. Love if love is your way of living, but do not mistake desire for love. Clouds drift freely across the sky because nothing binds them. Love too becomes spacious when the heart knows freedom. When love awakens the light of compassion within you, pitying and uplifting those in suffering, life becomes like a river overflowing with warm rain. Come to me, do not be afraid. This pink lotus I offer with affection to life. I am a wanderer with bare feet, simple clothes, my bag filled with sun and moon and stars. Do you know how magical love is when hands know how to hold and how to let go? Love quietly. There is no need to rush. Among all beings, we may find reflections of ourselves. Do not chase after love born of storms and separation. How many lifetimes have oceans of tears already been shed, sitting by the edge of the world, softly chanting vows across the seas, lighting the lamp of the heart to brighten the path of impermanence. Keep living with an ocean-wide love. Morning sunlight will awaken spacious dreams. Live true to yourself. Accept who you are. and smile brightly. Be happy with the life you have and the people around you. Practice letting go, accepting, and forgiving. These are the true secrets to lasting happiness. When will we finish paying old debts? When will the heart finally rest? A day of joy seems short, for life is a cycle of repayment, closing tightly around human destinies. Threads of responsibility tangle endlessly. Who is truly free from them? We spend a lifetime busy, worried, and exhausted. No matter how hard we work, the tasks never end. A lifetime saving and gathering. Yet wealth is never enough. A lifetime enduring and yielding. Yet mistakes still occur. A lifetime studying and applying knowledge. Yet regardless of wisdom, losses still come. The world is vast and humans are small. Some things should not be taken too heavily. Not everything will go as desired. Do not pressure yourself. If you have tried wholeheartedly, accept the results with peace. Clouds are like the mind, and the mind like clouds, coming and going through the passing days. The sky remains endlessly blue, unchanged. Flowers are like the heart, and the heart like flowers. Their fragrance may fade, yet a lotus of the soul can stay forever bright. Who can truly foresee fortune and misfortune? Those who are seasoned in life become calmer and simpler. Those who are shallow become impatient and uneasy. True strength is not the absence of tears, but the ability to swallow them and keep moving forward. A little more patience and endurance. Even without seeing hope, trust yourself. Sometimes you must carry burdens beyond your normal strength. After giving your all, you will discover your abilities are far more extraordinary than imagined, that life's journey is not only smooth paths. Learn to accept and smile. Wipe away tears, dissolve hardships, and continue walking your chosen road. Do the work that must be done, and in time, everything will improve. In human life, forgiving others is easy, but trusting again is difficult. Warming a heart takes much time, yet freezing it happens in a moment. Therefore, life's duty is to perfect oneself. Let us not intrude into the lives of others, no matter what the relationship is. Welcome those who come with warmth, and see off those who leave with calmness. Do not cling to what does not belong to you. Do not expect wholeheartedness from those who cannot give it, and let go of false hopes. Time is always changing, and everyone will inevitably change too. No matter how hard we try, what is gone cannot return. What is forever gone remains forever lost. Sometimes the world feels vast, so that a single farewell might mean never meeting again in a lifetime. Yet at other times, the earth seems so small that just after turning away from someone, you might find their smiling face again. Therefore, when meeting someone, learn to cherish the moments together. When parting, remember to maintain grace and smile, because who knows, this farewell could become eternal. Begin each new day with innocence and a smile. Let that smile bloom like sunshine over all corners of the world. Do not wish to change the whole world around you. That is merely an illusion. Instead, change your perspective. If life hands you lemons, make lemonade. If you meet unkind people, turn the garbage into flowers. Do not take everything too seriously. In this mortal world, things always pass. Join the clouds as they disperse. Decades may pass. Eyes open and close, and deep in the earth, sleep peacefully. Living a single day in mindful awareness is already a gift. True joy stems from inner peace. When the heart is full of delight, the world becomes beautiful. Have you ever tried sitting quietly, observing life? You may realize that life never ceases its fluctuations, like waves endlessly hitting the shore. Sometimes the waves of worry and unease outweigh the calm, joyful moments. Perhaps that is why some people pick up a newspaper and say, "No news is good news." No news is good news, yet strangely, even in calm seas, many do not recognize it as happiness. They cannot sit still. They must stir storms and troubles to feel their own existence, to attract attention. Could it be that human hearts are truly that impoverished? Must we live our whole lives with the ego of a beggar, always seeking happiness from suffering? only to become victims of our own ego. One of the secrets to living peacefully and happily is knowing how to simplify complex problems. Accept everything naturally and fully embrace each moment of peace and joy in life, right here and now. Simplify complex matters, and life becomes lighter and more serene. Do not complicate simple things. Even the most poetic heart knows rain comes, then sun, sun, then rain. Life is the same. In the heart, let life awaken and witness all things flowing naturally. Non-attachment remains beautiful amid impermanence. Joy, no matter how great, will gradually fade, and extreme pain will eventually find its way to ease. Knowing this, do not become arrogant. Today's success may not protect you from tomorrow's misfortune. Children cry easily, but are rarely sorrowful. Adults laugh amidst tears. The source of happiness lies in how we perceive people and events. Train your mind in ways that cultivate a long-lasting, peaceful life. In life, it is unavoidable to be judged or ridiculed for your flaws. Instead of taking it to heart, learn to laugh at your own imperfections. This is how you confidently embrace your imperfect self. Recognizing yourself allows for growth. Disagreeing with others is normal. You do not need to change just because your views differ. Simply live without harming yourself or others, and with a clear conscience. Some people are more fortunate in life than others. That is no one's fault. We must accept this difficult truth. Life is inherently unfair. Keep striving, day by day, toward your goals. If you do not reach the destination you desire, at least you will have progressed along the way. Moving toward a point farther than where you once stood, you should also know that you will never get everything you want. In every stage of life, you will deeply desire one or several things. Even when you already have what you wanted, you will still wish for something else. The important thing is that you need to learn how to be content with what you have, so you feel less stressed. Every day, we have to choose what to do and what not to do. Consider carefully before making a choice to avoid wasting time on things that are not worth it. Everything has two sides, so don't rush to believe stories told from only one perspective. Don't be deceived by glamorous images on social media. Make sure to thoroughly understand everything before placing your trust. Those who choose a cunning way of living may achieve success faster, but those who choose to be good people can travel further. Be a good person, no matter how harshly life treats you, simply because being good first allows us to sleep well, without worrying about any misdeeds being discovered. If you expect others to bring you happiness, rest assured you will be disappointed. Love life and people without expecting anything in return, and you will always feel at ease. Live in such a way that you have no regrets, even if someone abandons you crossing a river, even if a flower blooms not for you. Do not wait for the stream to flow backward. Live fully so that your human life, with its joys and sorrows, passes completely. Spring excites, leaves wait for autumn. Live to love and live fully in time. Have you ever tried to pause for a moment and listen to yourself? Listen to the sounds of life, as well as the echoes of nature. Everything in the world comes from karma and fate. Understanding this frees all worries. Who knows and dreams that life is illusory? Let go. Do not blame people. Do not dwell on their mistakes, as human society has always been like this. Who can be perfectly virtuous on earth? There's a saying, we cannot change the weather, but we can change our mood. You don't need to feel upset because it is raining, because we cannot stop the rain. You don't need to worry about the scorching sun, because the bright sunlight will not make you step into muddy sadness. Open the door and let the vast world in, welcoming a sweet, peaceful dawn into every cell of your body and mind. Observe the illusory self calmly. It is often hurt when life criticizes it. Let be sad, don't run away, don't cling. When praised by others, the self feels joyful and proud, but all joy and pain eventually pass. Life, like the ebb and flow of the sea, moves on. Walk through the realm of the mind, awaken, and let the water flow. Return life to the ocean, return sadness, and calmly watch the river. The self is not liberated by holding on. Liberation comes when the self lets go. Look deeply into the heart of birth and death, and you will meet eternal peace. There are priceless gifts that need no purchase. Some gifts are free, yet immensely meaningful when given to friends, family, or even to yourself. The gift of listening. Truly listen. Share in others' pains, joys, and sorrows, and listen not just with your ears, but with all your heart. The gift of care. Spend time caring for family, friends, and colleagues. Treat their problems as your own so they can feel your affection through your daily actions. The gift of smiles. Smiles are a wordless language, but they can quickly spread strength to others. A smile doubles joy and lightens sorrow. Give smiles to everyone around you. The gift of praise. Express genuine appreciation to those around you. Sincere compliments spoken simply, like today, shine brightly within you. You did it very well. Today's meal was wonderful. It can bring joy and uplift others. The gift of daily creativity. Perform a small surprise for your friends and family, and you will surely receive delightful surprises from them in return. The gift of stillness lies in moments when you truly just want to be alone. Treasure these precious moments and share the gift of stillness with others at the right time. The gift of gratitude. The simplest way to show appreciation for someone's care and sharing is to say thank you with a sincere smile. These are priceless gifts that can bring happiness to both the giver and the receiver. Tend to your own life before tears flow. Live fully before life passes. Music. Let the sun shine and leave sadness behind. Do not let sorrow waste your years. Time has passed. Love has been entangled. Hearts have been disappointed. Yet in life, there is no permanent debt or attachment. Move beyond tears and roam freely. Even if the rain falls, remain carefree. Amid smiles, let the sun shine in. Let go of past grievances. Life is only yours. Let go of sorrow. Do not force fate, for ups and downs, unions and separations are fleeting illusions. Look back on 100 years and see only ephemeral smoke and mist. Love and loss come and go, teaching impermanence. Accept change, release bitterness from past lives, and understand that no one stays forever. Let your heart sail calmly to the right shore, knowing that the cycle of life brings joy, suffering, and then joy again. Do not hesitate. Sit quietly, listen to the bell, let a drop fall, let go, and allow the clear sky to lift your spirit. The world is fleeting. All suffering stems from weakness. Return to solitude. See the lotus bloom under the fragrant sky, and rejoice in those who know how to let go. The path to happiness begins in the heart. Music, signs that you have matured, being calm and resilient. Some people remain silent when facing anything. They do not explain when misunderstood, do not argue when criticized, and do not refute gossip. Silence is not fear or weakness. It allows time to prove everything. Sometimes, silence eases others' minds more than pouring out your heart. Silence is also a mark of mature experience. When in pain, try to endure. When tired, rest. Be tolerant and understanding of others. Just as the sea can hold countless rivers, the tolerant heart becomes vast. Those who forgive others also learn to forgive themselves, to let go, and to cherish. That a mature person discards unnecessary burdens on life's journey. False friends, meaningless pleasures, empty gossip, while holding on to confidence, kindness, humility, rationality, and enthusiasm. People mature over time. Facing the harsh realities of the world and society, the mature person remains passionate, resilient, and values every moment of life. They appreciate the gift of existence, knowing that being born into this world is precious. When joyful, they remind themselves that joy is fleeting, sorrow and joy are intertwined. Sunlight leaves traces of happiness, rain leaves traces of sadness. Impermanence is understood when seen clearly. Happiness and sadness dissolve at the root of truth. The mind remains, riding waves of illusion. Music, being a good person is enough. Do not let a poor mindset limit you. Do not let lack of money narrow your vision. Even if glory seems out of reach, point one should strive to be a useful person. Appearance may not be striking, but never let the heart be ugly. Kindness and compassion do not depend on outward looks, but arise from the inner soul. It's fine to have a small or slight physique, but never allow a petty or narrow mind. No one appreciates someone with a small-minded heart. Even with narrow shoulders and a frail body, a generous heart can comfort and warm countless people. It's okay for the body to be weak, but never let the spirit be timid. Weak people tend to be pessimistic and insecure. Therefore, one must cultivate a courageous, principled, and confident spirit. Hands or eyes may be slow, but never allow the mind to be clouded. Always remind yourself to keep a clear heart and sharp mind to see far. It's okay to be a bit ruthless, but never be excessively cruel. Do not let hypocrisy turn you into a demon, for if you do not descend into hell, who will? It's okay to be a little clever, but never consider yourself exceptional while regarding everyone else as foolish. Otherwise, the world will be filled with only one arrogant fool, you. It's okay to be a bit lazy, but never be someone who shirks responsibility. For what must be done, strive to accomplish it fully, with a heart willing to contribute. Otherwise, you risk becoming a parasite on society. It's okay to be slightly cautious, but never be overly calculated for money. Otherwise, you will develop the habit of judging others by wealth and sooner or later become a slave to it. Being slightly tolerant is good, but never allow others to take advantage of your leniency and continue to err. Always maintain principles and self-respect. It's okay to endure some hardship, but never let suffering prolong without escape. One must learn to rise above it. No matter one's status, tears may sometimes fall, and even the strongest heart will at times feel shaken. We all hope for someone to shelter us in the rain, to comfort us in injustice, or protect us in danger. Yet everyone understands that no matter how far the road, we must walk it ourselves. No matter how complicated the task, we must handle it ourselves. And no matter how difficult the pain, we must face it ourselves. The world is unpredictable, and people change. We must learn to adapt. Learn to cherish, but also know when to forget. Facing the difficult can sometimes be a form of endurance. Accepting the hard things will help us grow. Even though hearts are often weak, we must strive to live strongly, because no one else can live our life for us. Care for yourself, treat yourself well, and live days worthy of pride. The world is like a mirror. If your face frowns, the reflection will frown. If your face smiles, the reflection smiles back. Therefore, do not hesitate to offer a gentle smile to others. The world has many sorrows, but if you polish the mirror of your heart, life will always be clear, even if outside everything remains misty. People are mirrors, always reflecting lessons. If your heart has love and understanding, life will radiate like fragrant flowers. Those who sincerely cultivate the way should not fear adversity, for hardship refines faith, elevates consciousness, and strengthens wisdom. True practice happens in daily life. If you embrace everything with a generous heart and tolerate all, nothing will feel incomprehensible. Regard everyone as people and every situation you encounter as a good lesson. This is not empty theory. It has been proven in reality. Remember this. Be strict with yourself, generous with others. When you make mistakes, be rigorous in self-examination. When others err, do not be harsh in judging them. Such is the way of handling life. So, be kind to your leaders, colleagues, subordinates, and people in general. If you can do this, the resentment between you and others will naturally diminish according to the measure of your own heart. We often say that the laws of the universe are immutable. Many people tend to forget the state of awareness. Yet they exert all their energy wearing themselves out without considering the origin of human beings, where we come from. We arise from a state of awareness, emerging from nothingness. Why do we feel sleepy even though we are busy from morning to night? It is because humans need a state of alertness. The mind cannot avoid resting when dealing with a complex, difficult matter that seems impossible to resolve. The first thing we need to do is to let go, to calm the mind, and think of nothing. Then suddenly, from within our thoughts, a feasible solution will emerge. This is the power of awareness. When faced with a problem too difficult, the more you think, the more your mind becomes pressured. All your nerves tighten. In the end, even if you do not die, you may fall ill. Suddenly, you encounter yourself amidst the illusions of reality and unreality, as fleeting as dawn meeting dusk, as ephemeral as sunset, seemingly endless. The more one strives towards selflessness, the more one feels peace blossoming in the heart. The more selfish one is, the more unstable and restless one becomes, caught in the cycle of suffering. Calm your mind and deeply realize that you truly own nothing. Everything in this world is interconnected and transient. Understand this and send out compassion and understanding in all directions, north, south, east, and west. Everyone is family. No one is an enemy. There was a person who had a habit. Whenever he picked up a newspaper, he first read the obituary pages carefully, even though he often did not know the deceased. A friend asked about this strange habit, and he replied, "I read them carefully to send my gratitude to these people." The friend raised his eyebrows in surprise. "I don't understand. You thank people you've never met." The man smiled and said, "Yes, I truly appreciate them because their passing reminds me not to forget that life is impermanent. Death can come at any moment without warning. While alive, these people may have had many dreams, ambitions, struggles, joys, and sorrows. Now, they have become lifeless bodies, waiting to be cremated or buried. They give their lives to remind me of a great lesson in life. Isn't that worthy of a word of thanks? Even if one lives 100 years, it still seems long, but in truth, eternity can be wrapped in a few minutes, coming and going like the wind. A person sincerely practicing the path should not fear hardship, because difficulty is what trains the heart, elevates consciousness, and helps true wisdom grow. Real practice is carried out in daily life. If you cultivate a generous heart and embrace everything with tolerance, nothing will confuse you. You will see all people as good and all circumstances you encounter as positive. These are not empty theories. Reality has proven them. Remember carefully, be strict with yourself, generous with others. That is, when you make mistakes, examine yourself critically. When others make mistakes, do not judge them harshly. The way you handle life is the same. Be kind to leaders, colleagues, subordinates, and people in general. Do this, and resentment between you and others will naturally diminish according to the measure of your own heart. But we often say that the laws of the universe are immutable. Many people forget the state of awareness. Yet they exhaust themselves without thinking about the origin of humans, where we come from. We arise from a state of awareness, emerging from nothingness. Why do we feel sleepy after being busy all day? It is because humans need alertness. The mind cannot avoid resting when dealing with something complex and difficult that seems impossible to resolve. The first thing we need to do is to let go, to calm the mind, and think of nothing. Why is it that when we stop thinking completely, a feasible solution suddenly arises from within our mind? This is the power of mindfulness. When you face something too difficult, the more you think, the more pressured your mind becomes. Every nerve tightens, and in the end, even if you don't die, you will fall ill. Whoever moves toward compassion will feel peace blossoming in their heart. Whoever clings to selfishness will only carry restlessness, sorrow, and suffering. When we quiet the mind and look deeply, we realize that the self we cling to does not truly exist. So how could anything be truly ours? When we understand this and look around at all beings, our heart naturally sends out compassion. East, west, south, north, we are all connected through life. There is no lifelong enemy. There was a man with a habit of, whenever he picked up a newspaper, opening first to the obituary pages. He read them very carefully, even though many times he did not know the deceased at all. A friend, puzzled by this strange habit, asked him about it. He replied, "Ah, I read them attentively because I want to send my gratitude to these people." His friend stared at him in shock. I don't understand. You thank people who have died, people you never even knew? Is something wrong with you? The man calmly answered, yes. I sincerely thank them because their departure reminds me not to forget that human life is impermanent. Death can come at any moment. No one knows when. When alive, these people probably had many dreams, many plans, many struggles over winning and losing, many joys and jealousies. Now, they have become lifeless bodies waiting to be cremated or buried under the earth. By giving their own lives, they offer me one of the greatest lessons in existence. Isn't that worth a word of gratitude? Music, live like the Buddha, someone who owns nothing yet can make use of everything. Enjoy life, but do not try to possess it. Everyone knows this simple truth. When we come into this world and when we leave it, we both arrive with empty hands. So why try so hard to claim everything is ours when nothing has ever truly belonged to us? Our body is the thing we hold closest, carrying it everywhere. And yet the Buddha teaches that even this body is not truly ours, let alone external possessions. So why exhaust ourselves creating karma and sinking deeper into suffering? The lotus cannot separate from the mud. Yet even in the mud, it releases its delicate fragrance. Living in a world full of mist and chaos, though life has countless paths, we can walk with wisdom and compassion. We must know how to discern clearly, adapt skillfully, and guide our boat gently across the waters of life. When we understand, we live freely and lightly. Every day we must face a great number of things that do not go our way, frustrations, irritations, and situations beyond our control. We cannot always prevent unfavorable events from happening. So, it is better to learn to accept them and eventually embrace them with ease. Let us learn patience, tolerance, and generosity. Try to see ourselves and others with softer, kinder eyes. And do not worry too much when we fail. Leave the past behind so we can fully focus on the present. There is no need to recall painful memories and bury ourselves in them. Learn to meditate each day. Even a few minutes can change our life. Inner peace naturally brings outer peace and joy. In life, whenever we gain something, we may also lose something. Giving does not always bring an immediate return. Life has its own way of unfolding. The future is always ahead. We just need to walk forward steadily. Give yourself wings of freedom to step through pain and consequences and become someone joyful. Forget the years and the aging. Do not let time make us old. No matter how many years we have lived, as long as we feel young in spirit, that is enough. Overcome the temptations of fame and fortune, for they are merely external objects and never lasting. Everyone wants a little recognition, a little gain, and so conflicts arise. We fight to obtain something, but when things don't go our way, we turn around and blame life for being unfair to you. In truth, living a simple and ordinary life is the greatest happiness, and everyone should have at least one true friend. Material possessions can't stay with us forever, but a genuine companion can sometimes become a lifelong treasure. It's best to have a soulmate, someone you can look for when feeling lonely, to share a few honest words. Yet having a true friend is never easy. So, treasure quality over quantity in friendships. Build a place of refuge within yourself. When troubles come, let your heart grow quiet. Give your mind a space to settle. Look at the wildflowers by the roadside. Though small, they still bloom joyfully, coloring the world with their presence. Suddenly, everything becomes more beautiful. Think positively, and you may live a happy life. Perhaps we often make the same mistake, taking someone's kindness for granted. The moment they make a small error, we instantly forget all the goodness they gave. People tend to remember others' flaws and wrongdoings, to nitpick and judge, believing others fall short of themselves. So the more they look, the more they see the world as inadequate, and the harder it becomes to accept anything. But seeing others is like looking into a mirror. If we frown or glare, we will surely receive an unpleasant reflection that a person's small mistake becomes enormous in our eyes when we aren't satisfied, and when we must face it anyway. The discomfort feels like a needle pricking the eye, like a thorn piercing the skin. Only when removed do we feel relief. Remembering someone's faults is using their mistakes to punish ourselves, making our own hearts unhappy and filling our days with irritation to S.O. instead. Remember the good in people to be a little more tolerant of their shortcomings. Over time, you will see that everyone is something worth learning. When the heart holds only goodness, the world becomes beautifully bright. Remembering the good in others is far better than remembering their faults and then carrying a heart filled with resentment, wandering through life in sorrow. Praise and criticism are simply parts of human life, that if someone criticizes you, it's fine to feel sad for a moment, but don't rush to react with anger. See their criticism as a chance to reflect and adjust what needs improvement. And no matter how talented or prepared we are, unwanted things will still happen according to life's natural course. There is gain and loss, union and separation. Yet most people wish for everything to remain unchanged. Human suffering arises from this desire for permanence, while the nature of life is impermanence at times. Facing the destruction brought by impermanence, people feel as if they're about to collapse. But if one understands the teaching of dependent origination, they will realize that all along, they have already received too many blessings from the universe. Now the universe simply takes back a little share with others. It is only natural, not bitter at all. Meanwhile, some people disregard others' suffering for their own gain and pleasure. Thus, in the joy of one person lies the loss and sorrow of another. But there's no need to stare at the dark side of society. The world has always been that way. Only by learning to let go can the heart find peace. All suffering and happiness arise from the mind and vanish from the mind. As your mind is, so will be your experience of life. That let the worldly noise be. They're just fleeting sounds. Praise brings delight. Criticism brings suffering. But the world keeps flowing endlessly. The mind is like a river, and the river like the mind. Sometimes turbulent, sometimes quiet, carrying joys, sorrows, pleasure, and pain downstream and away. If life were truly full of suffering, we wouldn't have time to complain. That if living were truly too harsh, we wouldn't have the strength to blame. And if we were truly at the very end, we wouldn't still have the mood to recount our grief or cry anywhere, anytime. Remember, we live for ourselves. Whatever work we do it without shame and with the effort to fulfill our responsibilities. Destiny and fate are born from the inner mind. When choosing a path, we are deciding our own future. Do not burden your heart with the past. Live fully in the present and keep your vision toward tomorrow. If you can do so, your life will surely become brighter. Another day passes like any other, yet awakening in the midst of worldly intoxication is rare. Once we sought happiness amid sorrow. Now live lightly, live in the here and now. The mind is like the wind, and the wind like the mind, subtle, drifting like the melody of the moonlit lute. Feelings released into the wind wander through the vast sky, dissolving the burdens of the heart. Rain mirrors the mind mirrors the rain, falling upon worldly dreams. So many rainy seasons have passed without planting grief. The lotus leaf once held ancient drops of water. The mind is like the earth, and the earth like the mind, receiving refuse, blooming flowers, remaining silent while listening to the earth breathe each thought. Harmonious or contrary, all is free of hindrance. Nature's heart is this very heart. The way of truth embraces all realms. Walk up the mountain at dusk. Release verses into the wind. Send heartfelt wishes across the ages. The Buddha taught that human suffering often arises from greed, anger, and ignorance. Therefore, to live in happiness, you must let go of excessive desires and accept imperfection as an essential part of being human. Letting go is a sign of wisdom. Only by releasing can one find joy. Why sorrow over gain and loss? Life rises and falls like tides. Who among us is free from missteps? All things eventually fade like a playful breeze. The mind of each person is like a field. Sow good seeds, and you will reap good fruits. Sow harmful seeds, and you will harvest suffering. If you can joyfully live each day, your life will naturally flourish like grasses in the meadow or bloom like radiant flowers. Then the entire universe will celebrate you. Indeed, joy brings beauty and grace, while hatred, complaint, and pain only make one grow uglier. Appearance arises from the mind. A smile is a clear mirror of the soul, reflecting every seed planted within. If the seeds are joy, the fruit will surely be a smile. If within you lies the seed of sorrow, the fruit will surely be pain. If your heart holds seeds of blame, the fruit will be resentment. If filled with seeds of love, the fruit will be compassion. If your mind contains delusion, the result will be downfall and decay. When life gives you a sour lemon, do not fear. Use it to cook or make a cool lemonade. If you receive an event with pessimism and discouragement, then the challenges you face are sour lemons. But if you welcome them with optimism, love of life, and an open mind, those challenges become refreshing lemon water. Whether you frown at the sour fruit or delight in a cool drink is your choice. Time may help us grow older, but not necessarily wiser. Only through stumbling and facing life's upheavals do we gradually mature and understand more. The wise, when alone, restrain their minds, seeing solitude as a chance to reflect. When interacting with others, they restrain their speech, seeing silence as an opportunity for humility and learning. Speaking less is not silence. It is mindful intention. A single wholesome word brings more peace than thousands of noisy thoughts. Sorrow does not depart if it has not arrived. If it has not come, it is not here. Joy not yet found in gathering will not turn into sadness when separation comes. Without dawn, there can be no fading twilight. Without waking, one cannot know the length of night. Without waiting, one cannot feel time dragging on. Without loving, one cannot know the ache of longing. Without tasting the bitterness of solitude, one cannot understand the trembling of the heart. Without winter's cold, one cannot cherish the wandering souls outside the window. Without experiencing a single night of such chill, how could one ever understand? Silent, how can I hear the heartbeat of everyone? Who has never cried, who does not yet know how to smile? How can one fully shine with joy if not yet looking down in sorrow? One has yet to know gratitude in life, yet to forgive even the smallest grievances. How can one erase the habit of anger? Or the hesitant, weary life, where love and hate are prolonged, never having approached the Buddha's altar, restlessly wandering. 6 paths in search, yet silently admiring the green tombs, rushing through all stages only to fade, and not yet knowing the words of Namo, feeling unfulfilled, heavy-hearted, not yet born, not yet died, no names called. After the rain, the sun still rises at the door of birthlessness. All is vast, waiting for those with Buddha-like smiles for eternity. And I remain, fleeting, in this life.